So yeah, I thought I'd do a video on a part two on my unemployment video that I made ages ago because that was one of my first videos that I made where I talk about getting stuff off my chest. But a little bit's come to my mind, and I thought I'd sort of make a part two to it. And I'm technically employed, and I'm also technically unemployed because I volunteer currently, but that's not seen as formal work in the system's eyes, and I'm not a fan of the system at all, really. I'm just going to go through like reasons why I don't, where I've not gone into work, why I've not gone into employment, as I've had that opportunity not to work because of Aspergers, where I can claim disability benefits and stuff, and just how my life's turned out with being mentally ill, and I'm in supported living because of that, as a result of that. And I think the main reason I don't work is I think most jobs you get treated like a dickhead when you work. I'm not one to be treated like a dickhead because I felt like I've been treated like a dickhead all most of my life, especially in education, and I'm kind of done with that. Like, where I think like when you're in school and stuff, you kind of made to feel like you have to people please, you have to impress, like you have to please the system, and I'm just like, fuck that. And where as the older I've gotten, I realise that what utter bollocks it all is, like where you have to wear a suit for job interviews to just get a very average job at like somewhere like McDonald's or fucking Home Bargains or something like that, and I'm just like, I just I don't see I don't see why you have to put that effort into doing that, and I just don't have the energy anymore to put the effort into that. Once upon a time, I might have, but I think education's just burnt that energy out. Where I just, after leaving uni, I just got massively burnt out from it all, and it's probably took an effect to the decline of my mental health and the way I am today, where I just don't really bother. Like I think it's throughout like my life in education, especially when you're in high school and college and probably a bit in uni, the way they lecture you shit that's probably not much use to me. I've got a massive chip on my shoulder because of that, and I just don't see the point. But I think when it comes to employment, I think there's high expectations, and I just think like, why is there such high expectations and shit, and it's like if you can't do a task up to speed to a certain level, like you're treated like shit basically. And as someone with Asperger's, like I think it seems probably not for everyone, but it seems to be common, and certainly with me, where you can't really do tasks to the speed of normal people. Like you can be clumsy in that, and you just end up, don't know, failing. Like, for example, you got a task of like loading boxes and in a and all that, or being organised. Like, you just, for whatever reason, you perform slower, and that seems to be common with Asperger's. And yeah, look, I currently volunteer at the minute, and I'm thinking of quitting that because I'm just one of them that just gets bored of things easily. And my last voluntary shift, they put me on box office for a bit, and I walked off because I was getting a bit fed up of it. And to be honest, I'm getting fed up. Like I've talked about it in another video, and I'd recommend watching that. Can't remember what video it is, but I recommend watching that. And yeah, but I think like when you live in the Western world as an Englishman, especially in the modern age, if you don't work, or if you don't work a proper, normal, formal paid job, you can get shamed on. Like, you get looked down on, you're seen as like a lower class citizen. Like, and that's probably one of the reasons why I was quite eager at one point to get a job. And but that's just not happened for multiple reasons. As don't know, like I'm one of them that just never really knew what I wanted to do. Where I've always changed my ambitions, and I think the main reason I don't just walk into any job like what is kind of expected from you these days is that you just get treated like a dickhead more than likely, and I'm just like, it's not for me. Like if you treat, like if it was like a nice positive working environment, I'd probably walk into a lot of jobs, to be honest. Like I'd probably do it, but unfortunately I think more than likely, probably not every job, but more than likely you're gonna get treated like an absolute dick. You're gonna be treated like shit. Especially these like low level wage slavey jobs like McDonald's, Burger King, Taco Bell, KFC, all that sort of stuff. You're gonna be treated like shit, and I'm just like, I might be alright at the start, but I can just see myself getting burnt out from it eventually. And it's like, what's the point? What is the fucking point? And I'm just like, I can never. Other than that, it's just like I've never really known what I wanted to do, and I've probably not since being an adult. I've probably never really been in the right frame of mind to get a job. I'm not gonna lie, because I would have done it a long time ago. Even though I've done volunteering, but I guess like you can get away with a lot more with volunteering, and if you don't like it, you can walk out and you're not losing out on anything. Like even volunteering, I can get picky with where I'm thinking of switching up my volunteering. I'm kind of struggling to think what to do because a lot of things just doesn't interest me. But I think like that's the thing at the end of the day. I'm just not one to be bossed about, told what to do, to be treated like some dick. And if you can't do that, and if you got labels to back it up, you're deemed as vulnerable and you're classed as being in the vulnerable adult box, which I've never really liked. But at the end of the day, it probably gives me a roof over my head and a bit of money in my pocket. So I think after establishing myself of being in supported living, I'm kind of just like, fuck it, this is probably as good as it gets now. If anything, it'll probably just get worse from this. And then I've mentioned if you work, you should be rewarded. Like, what's in it for me? Is it going to guarantee me a better life? Can I move to a better area? Like, I live outside of Greater Manchester and I've always wanted to live in a better area. Maybe somewhere down south near my grandma's. Like a quaint, little nice quaint village, English village or something. That's probably not too isolated, but like I've always wanted to live somewhere like that. Not too isolated, but not anywhere near some dystopian shithole like fucking Milton Keynes or something. But I don't know. Where you're forced to go to the fucking job centre. Like, that's one of my worst nightmares. And I think, like, throughout your whole life, you're lectured to people please, impress, get off your arse, work, and a lot of these sort of people that lecture you this sort of stuff are miserable cunts that probably hate their own jobs. It's probably an ego boost for them, and I've just later found, like, well, it's just a load of bollocks. What my life is none of their business. Like, nobody gives a shit about you in this world, or not a lot of people, unless it's like, if you're lucky to come from a close knit family. I'm probably a little bit more unlucky because I only have like my parents and my sister, but other than that, nobody gives a fuck about me. So I'm just like, who gives a fuck? I'm not here to fucking impress people, please. Just get to fuck. And I'm just probably just waffling on for waffling's sake in this video because I'm a bit bored, but another thing is, like, I don't know, like, when you don't work, you stay in a lot. So I don't know. That's probably the negative, and you feel like you just need purpose in life. Like, I'm someone that probably needs like some sort of purpose in life, but I'm not one to be treated like a dickhead, if you know what I mean. Like, but yeah, not really sure what else to talk about in this video. I think it's just one of them where I'm just rambling on for rambling's sake. Well, yeah, I've throughout the years, I mean, since getting ill, like, I've done multiple things. Like, I joined a group called Meetup. I volunteered at Oxfam. I've done voluntary work at a theatre because I need some sort of purpose. I thought I'd try things out, but to be honest with you, I feel like it's not really done much for me. To be honest, I don't think it's really. I seem to have trouble connecting with people, especially at the theatre, because I just seem to. It's one of them where it's not really designed to socialise. Like, people are too busy doing other things, doing their job. But maybe I just don't connect to them because of personality differences. Like, they seem to be heavily into the woke stuff, both at Oxfam and the theatre. And that's just not my thing, to be honest. But yeah. I don't think I can think of much more to say, but yeah, catch you in another video, maybe. Goodbye.